If you're a man who wants a happy and long-lasting relationship with the woman in your life, this video is for you. Because sooner or later in every long-term relationship, something happens. The energy changes. You start to feel a little distance, and when that happens, most men either panic, blame themselves, or blame her. But in many cases, the real reason is actually much simpler. And if you stick with me to the end of the video, I'm going to show you the exact way to reconnect when she feels distant, so you don't let something good slowly fade away. Before we start, I do want to clarify something about these relationship videos. These are really for men who want something better than average in their relationship. So think of it like food. You can eat something that tastes just okay, or you can learn how to make something delicious. And the tools I share here are just ways to help you get the most out of your relationship. But if you're the type of guy who thinks, it's all her fault, I have nothing to change, then honestly, this video is probably not for you. No hard feelings, but if you want a stronger relationship, let's talk. And really quick before we get into it, if you're new here, I'm Kuya E, or older brother E, and welcome to the Malusog YouTube channel, where we help men improve 3 pillars: body, sobriety, and relationships. Alright, let's get into it. So first I want to talk about everything that lasts needs maintenance. One of the biggest mistakes men make when they feel distance in a relationship is assuming something is seriously wrong. But the truth is, distance is normal. It happens even in great relationships. And the reason is simple. Anything you keep long-term requires maintenance. So think about a car, a house, your health. Over time, things naturally experience wear and tear. Relationships are no different. Connection fades when it's not maintained. I don't know about you, but work takes a lot out of me. Even now, I'm sober, my fitness is on point, I'm disciplined in a lot of areas of my life. But after a long day at work, sometimes the last thing on my mind is intentionally maintaining my relationship. So even now, I have to remind myself to create time for that. Because if you don't maintain something valuable, it slowly starts to break down. And the same thing can happen in a relationship. Some guys experience this in different ways. Maybe it's not distance yet, but you notice things like the conversations between you two have become short and practical, mostly about logistics. Or maybe the affection isn't the same as it used to be. Maybe you're both busy and suddenly realize it's been weeks or months since you really connected. And for some couples, it's not even tension, it's just routine. Same schedule, same conversations, same habits. Nothing terrible, but also not the kind of connection you used to have. And the common thread behind all these situations is actually very simple. It's not that the relationship is broken, it's that the relationship hasn't been maintained. Just like anything valuable in life, when maintenance stops, wear and tear slowly begin to show. Now, here's where things get interesting. Because people understand maintenance perfectly in other areas of life, but suddenly become confused when it comes to relationships. Really quick, if you're getting value, hit like and subscribe. It helps us reach more men who need this message. Next, I want to talk about why distance confuses people when it really shouldn't. So imagine your car breaks down. You take it to the mechanic, and the mechanic tells you, well, you haven't brought this in for an oil change in 10 years. At that point, the problem becomes pretty obvious. But in relationships, people do something strange. They'll go years without maintaining the connection, years without meaningful conversations, years without checking in emotionally, years without clearing the air. Then when distance appears, they're confused. But in reality, emotional distance is often just the result of years without maintenance. No oil changes, no tune-ups. Just slow drift. And honestly, I do relate to this a lot. Car maintenance isn't my favorite thing. It's inconvenient, it takes time, sometimes it even reveals the things that I've neglected. And maintaining a relationship can feel the same way. Hard conversations can be uncomfortable. They do take time. And sometimes they reveal mistakes you made. But just like maintaining a car, I know how important it is. Because ignoring maintenance doesn't make problems disappear, it just makes them bigger later. Now, some guys experience this distance in different ways. Maybe the arguments between you two start becoming more frequent, or maybe it's the opposite. There's no arguments at all, but also no real emotional connection. Some guys notice their partner becoming quieter, less expressive, and others notice that she starts investing more of her energy into work, friends, or other areas of life. And sometimes the distance is subtle, nothing dramatic. Just a slow feeling that the connection isn't what it used to be. But the common thread behind all these situations is the same thing. It's not that the relationship suddenly stopped working, it's that the relationship has gone too long without maintenance. Again, no check-ins, no clearing the air, no intentional effort to reconnect. And when enough time passes without those oil changes, distance naturally starts to grow. And that brings us to the most important question. If you start feeling that distance in your relationship, what should you actually do? So now let's talk about what you came for, what to do when she feels distant. See, the real problem when couples feel distance is not the distance itself. The real problem is avoidance. Avoiding the conversation. Avoiding the uncomfortable moment. Avoiding the maintenance. And the solution I've found over time is actually pretty simple. So here's the strategy. Step 1, gently call it out. Not aggressively, not blaming, just acknowledging it. Something like, hey, I know I probably have some fault in this too, but I feel some distance between us. I'd really like for us to set aside time to talk. Just opening the door like that can change everything. Step 2, Have the conversation. Most of the time, these relationship oral changes are just conversations that never happen, things that were left unsaid, feelings that were never expressed. Simply creating the space for those conversations can bring people closer again. And step 3, repeat the process. This idea of small conversations repeated over time was something that took me a while to learn. Because we as men are problem solvers, right? Our instincts is to fix everything at once. Have one big conversation, solve every issue, and move on. But what I've learned is that relationships work much better when you go small and steady. Instead of trying to solve everything in one moment, my wife and I started having regular conversations, checking in about how we're doing, talking about what's working, talking about what needs to improve. Sometimes that leads to a solution. Sometimes it leads to a compromise, and sometimes it just leads to understanding each other better. But the important thing is that those conversations keep the connection alive. And really, life is a lot better that way, because when you maintain the relationship regularly, small issues don't have time to grow into big problems. The distance doesn't have time to stretch too far. You both feel heard. You both feel like you're on the same team. Now, different guys will experience the benefits of this in different ways. For some men, it means fewer arguments. For others, it means their partner becomes more relaxed and affectionate again. For some couples, it simply means the relationship feels lighter and easier because you're no longer carrying unspoken tension. But the common thread behind all those benefits is this. When couples maintain their connection through honest conversations, they stop feeling like two people drifting apart and start feeling like partners again. And that's really the goal. Not perfection, just two people continuing to choose each other and continuing to maintain something good. So the core message that ties all this together is this. I personally genuinely root for couples to succeed because a lot of long-term relationships already have something really good. The tragedy isn't that love disappears. The tragedy is when something good gets thrown away for no good reason. Or just as bad, when a perfectly good love slowly dies simply because of inaction. So if she feels distance, don't panic, don't blame, just lead the relationship back to connection. Because just like anything valuable in life, love needs maintenance too. That about wraps up this video. I wanted to thank you so much for watching. If you're watching this and thinking, yeah, I want a better relationship, but I know there are also other areas of my life that need some attention too, then the 5-day Marusog Reset might be a good place for you to start. Because relationships don't exist in isolation. If you're constantly stressed, if your habits are out of control, or if you feel disconnected from yourself, then it becomes a lot harder to show up well for the woman in your life. So if you want to reset your habits, reset your mental clarity, and start rebuilding momentum across the 3 Malusog pillars of life, which are your body, sobriety, and relationships, then this reset gives you 5 structured days to step back, reflect, and take action. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check that out. Tagalog sign off, kung mahalaga sa'yo ang relasyon mo, alagaan mo rin ito. Which means, if your relationship matters to you, take care of it. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.